everybody, it's Tallara and welcome back to my first blind playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. On our last episode, we just finished Chapter 2, and Commander Vandham was here to congratulate us on a job well done. We actually fought a tyrant and managed to place a probe, and now it might finally time for us to become a full member of the Blade organization. Let's see. Let's proceed.
So, Commander, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit here today?
Well, I can't just ask Nagi to do everything for me. I'd be out of a job.
Hey, I delivered you the new recruit, didn't I?
Yeah, you won the bet. Don't worry about it, all right? I'll settle up with you later. You know I'm good for it.
The bet?
I'm sure I'm needed elsewhere. If you'll all excuse me, Commander.
Well, that wasn't obvious at all.
Huh. Look at you two. I swear, you're like two children excited about a new toy.
Look who's talking. I don't recall ever seeing you file a request to personally train a rescue before.
Is that so odd?
It is before we'd even asked her to become a blade, little Miss Stick in the Rear.
Usually I ask when I don't get your slang expressions, but something tells me to just let that one go.
Enough about that. Where are your manners, anyway? I still haven't been introduced to our new recruit here.
Commander Vandham is Blade's top officer.
In a past life, I was chief engineer on the White Whale. Same idea, basically. Someone has a problem, I fix it. You follow? Huh. Not much for conversation, are you?
So you still haven't told us why you're here. From the look of things, I'm guessing this isn't a social call.
You don't think?
No. So let's cut the crap and get down to business.
Ha! Sounds like you're learning my expressions just fine, Elma. Anyway, first we need Chatty Cathy here to choose a division and pull an assignment.
I guess Chatty Cathy means me. I mean, true, I usually talk the ears off of people. Just kidding, I'm a mute protagonist. Alright, we've got two options. Ask about the assignment or ask about divisions. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's get more info and ask about the divisions.
Pretty much everyone in New LA works for Blade, in one of several different fields. Helping to explore Mira, or to maintain order in the city, or, well, you remember Nagi's speech, right? There are 8 different fields in all, and each one has its own branch within Blade. Officially, they're called divisions. Naturally, you'll want to choose one that best suits your personality and your talents.
Let's start with the Pathfinders. Pathfinder's #1 responsibility is planting data probes, like you did on your training mission. It may not be the sexiest job, but important? You bet your ass it's important. We've only been on Mira 2 months. We don't know jack about this place. The more probes we install, the faster we can get our bearings here and give ourselves a fighting chance.
We've already detailed how important it is we expand the Frontier Nav network ASAP. So, for the time being, I'll just remind you of the highlights. It helps us keep Blade safe. It helps us keep the city safe. And most important of all, it's the key to locating the missing parts of the Lifehold and recovering the rest of the human race.
Okay, next up, Interceptors. You met Akalov and Evans, right? Irina and Gwen? This is their division. Interceptors have one main duty. Protect New LA and everyone in it from the wildlife here on Mira. Right now, this is probably our busiest division. Interceptors ride shotgun for the research eggheads, they escort VIPs around, and they help any other idiots who get caught out there with their pants down.
Next are the Harriers. Remember Doug Barrett, the Skell pilot conducting the test flight with Lynn? He's part of the Harriers. If you think of the Interceptors as defense, Harriers would be New LA's offense. They specialize in preemptive strikes on clear and obvious threats. But only on clear and obvious threats. They're not meant to go out and just blast any indigene that moves.
And you got your reclaimers. These guys are in charge of finding the other pieces of the White Whale. Among other things, that is. Including anything of ours left behind after a battle. Skell debris, weapons, personal effects. It can get a bit morbid, frankly, but it's gotta be done. Until we're up and running here on Mira, and have this place completely figured out. Everything we brought from Earth needs to be treated like it's irreplaceable. Also, the search for the Lifehold. That's mostly on the Reclaimers.
Next, Curators. Curators are the first to scout ahead to unexplored territory, bringing back whatever samples they can get their hands on. Fruits, bugs, sticks and stones, you name it. It's not all picking berries, though. Being a curator also means being the first to encounter unknown indigens.
Next? All right, prospectors. Prospectors do, well, prospecting. They poke around, looking for minerals, resources, and whatnot. Things we need for everyday life here. We packed all the essentials we could on the White Whale, but that won't last forever. We need to be able to replenish our water and fuel if we want to survive. And sooner or later, we're gonna have to figure out how to replace things from scratch. From the socket on a Skell's knee joint, right down to the frying pan in Lynn's kitchen. Without these guys busting their butts, we'd have no future to speak of.
Next up, Outfitters. All of our ground gear and Skell weaponry is developed in conjunction with private arms manufacturers, or AMs. Outfitters are Blade's way of supporting these AMs. They'll seek out anything that might inspire new weapon ideas, and even assist with testing new prototypes.
Finally, the Mediators. These are the folks who keep everything hunky-dory with John and Joan Q public. Any problems a civvy has, they come to Mediators. Fight with your neighbor? Mediators. Lost cat? Mediators. It's not a division for everyone. You need to be a jack of all trades, and a people person. Someone with my charming personality? Probably not the best mediator. But if you got what it takes, it's a clutch role, keeping things cool on the home front.
All right, so I think that's all 8 divisions. Any idea which one you'd like to join? Don't fret about it too much. Whichever you choose, you still have a lot of freedom in how you operate. Mediators can still get out there and mix it up, hunt indigens, whatever. And if a Harrier wants to take a break and settle an argument, that's their prerogative too. To be honest, even though it's sort of frowned upon, you can actually change your division whenever you like. So there's really no reason to stress about this. All right, you ready to choose?
Alright. I mean, that was a lot of information to take in. 8 different divisions, and I have to choose one. Definitely don't want you to explain the divisions again. That was quite the long exposition there, so yeah, sure, I'm ready.
Yeah, and? We're on pins and needles here.
Well, I'm glad that Elma let us know that, you know, it's not a permanent decision which division we pick. Apparently we can sort of switch to other ones if we want, and we still have flexibility in how we operate. So knowing that, I'm not going to stress about it too much. Let's select our division. So, we've got Pathfinders, Interceptors, Harriers, Reclaimers, Curators, Prospectors, Outfitters, and Mediators. As someone whose 2 favorite things in RPGs are exploring and collecting loot, that means that I think I'm leaning more towards the Curator or the Prospector. Curators are charged with scouting unexplored territories and collecting materials found there. I mean, that basically sums up exactly what I want to do in this game. Explore and collect stuff. So I think Curator is speaking to me more than any of the others. Let's just go with our gut and let's select Curator.
Then it's settled?
Oh, don't make me second guess myself. Yes, Elma, it's settled.
All right. Thank God that's over. By the power invested in me, yada yada, you're officially a Blade.
Yay!
Congrats. And welcome.
I know you're gonna do great.
All right, there it is. We're officially a Blade
Now for the
member.
job. Let's get down to brass tacks. Nelson's team has gone missing. Last contact we had, they were installing a data probe out in eastern Primordia. Then, nothing.
Nelson. Pathfinders, right?
Are we talking indigents here or what?
Oh, I didn't realize I could
Your
actually
guess is
control
as
the
good as
camera
mine,
during these
but they
scenes.
did have a skell with them. You'd think they could hold their own, or at least run away.
All right, we're on it. We'll head to their last known location and go from there.
Report whatever you find ASAP.
Of course. Let's move out.
Roger that.
All right, we've got our Chapter 3 story mission. We need to search for Nelson's missing team in southeast Primordia. Chapter 3, Builders of a Legacy. Eleonora's here to give us some advice. She says you're officially a Blade now. Congrats. Becoming one of us grants you access to a variety of services, including the shop terminal, the AM terminal, mission control, and more. Some services are still off limits at the moment, but I'll get back to you on those later. Ever wish you could zip straight back to a place you visited? Well, that's why we have fast travel. It allows you to instantly return to significant landmarks as well as any frontier nav sites that have data probes installed. Just access the map to use it. Wow, now we're getting information from Lynn. She says, arms manufacturers, or AMs, support us from the sidelines by developing new weaponry and gear, and by utilizing their services, we can support them too. Head to the AM terminal in Armory Alley to learn more about working with AMs to make new gear. Wow, so many tooltips here. Becoming a Blade comes with a plethora of information to process. Now, missions. Missions comprise duties and requests received directly from the concerned parties or via mission control. They're divided into 4 categories and provide rewards and affinity when completed. We've got story missions, we've got affinity missions, we've got normal missions, and basic missions. Okay, interesting. So they're basically sorted by importance. Story missions for the story, obviously. Affinity missions are like companion team missions. Normal missions are from NLA citizens or fellow Blades, and basic missions are just basic fetch quests, defeating enemies, that kind of thing. Next, we are learning about Blade Reports. Blade Reports are a communication tool that residents of Mira use to share useful information they come across. When you visit a segment for which you haven't completed the segment recon yet, you may receive a Blade Report post. If you do, check your current position on the segment view of the map screen to confirm the segment recon objective and do your best to resolve it. Alright, that is a lot of information to process. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But I think all the paperwork is out of the way, and we are officially a Blade, meaning it's time to head out on our first official Blade mission. Nelson's team of Pathfinders has lost contact, and they had a skell with them, so they should be fine, because, you know, people with armored robots are genuinely stronger. Are generally stronger than people without, but even still, we'll go check in. So, I guess we'll go out the east gate and then head north. Maybe I should take a look at my map and see what the best way to access it there. Let's see, zooming out. Why don't I see their icon? Aha, okay. We had to come over to the map screen. There it is. So it's far to the east. Perfect. Along the way, looks like we can pick up a couple of side quests here. There and there. So how about we do that? So to the east we go. Wait, is this east? This is east. Okay. Alright, we've got a sweet beat accompanying us as we head out the east gate. It is 3:30 in the morning, a perfect time to start an adventure under that big, beautiful moon. And luckily, we've got the quest objective to tell us exactly where we need to go. So let's run back down the path, close to where we were earlier to plant that probe. And we'll see what other things we can find along the way. I feel like I also want to wet my teeth a little bit and fight some monsters, so how about we start right with that? Let's fight this wood lepex that we have right here.
Don't be so pushy! Shadow strike! Flame fire carnival! Throw armor! Hit him again for side slash! Soul hammer! Wild dash! Wild split! Split egg!
Starting to get the hang of combat. As I've said before, it's similar to previous Xenoblade games, and yet its own other thing at the same time. So it's taken a little bit of getting used to. I was, hoping I could kind of just go off the previous experience that I had in the Xenoblade series. But unfortunately, it is different enough that I don't feel super confident just going off muscle memory, which means the only thing there is to do is practice. And of course, the beautiful thing about practicing in a game like this is that we're gonna get rewarded with experience points just like that when we defeat these monsters. I went down, but luckily my companions were able to clean it up. And there we go, that's another win under our belt. We're approaching the area where we planted the probe on our last episode. You can see it there on the left, glowing yellow. So we need to keep moving past that as our target is sort of just over there. Now, there are a ton of monsters out and around. Some monsters we've never seen before, like these ones. They're so cute! It's like a giant armadillo with a poofy ball Moogle tail. Wow, that's adorable. We're not fighting those. Those things are cute, too cute to battle. What we can battle is maybe this younger Rex right here. Let's see if we can get some experience points from this thing, because it's less cute. I'm sorry to pick and choose my battles on the basis of cuteness, but apparently that's my criteria. Nice.
Hope I didn't get in the way.
You did not get in the way, Lynn. We worked great together. Look at this. We're getting so much good equipment, so much good experience. The one thing I find so funny is because we equipped Elma with some new equipment, she doesn't match anymore. So she's got this green torso with the red arms. She looks a little silly, but hey, that's the beauty of mixing and matching equipment, right? There's a big monster. We talked about this before. One of the hallmarks of the Xenoblade franchise is always that they throw really high-level monsters into the first area, like this guy. Hey, Redden the Territorial, who is coming our way. Oh my god, he has a lot of arms. He's very big, he looks very angry, and we're gonna give him a very wide berth. Alright. Now, it looks like our objective is sort of up over on those cliffs, which makes me think we're gonna need some sort of bridge to get over there, meaning I don't think we're going the right way. Let's see. Well, I suppose the beauty of an open world game is
I'll face you.
there is no right way. And we've been ambushed by this young Grex. This thing is level 10, but we do have the numbers advantage. There's 3 of us and only 1 of him, and though he may be really big, I feel alright about it. We're really getting into our groove here in terms of combat.
Nice. Move in and do some damage. Hey, shadow strike.
I'm almost down.
I appreciate
Not
it.
out. Where did we all
I got you, Lynn. Uh-oh. I think another monster has joined the fight. No, it's the level 81! Oh, we're gonna die. We are going to die. How did he get over here? Last I saw, he was back on that path. Okay, well, that's a party wipe. How did a level 81 giant monkey monster with 4 arms sneak up on me? I'll never know, but there you have it. That is a full party wipe. I guess we gotta keep eyes in the back of our head as we go down this area, because the last thing I want to do is fight that guy again. Okay, so I made it past the big monkey, and in doing so, I actually leveled up. So you can see the whole party is level 8, but most importantly, we've actually reached max rank for our class. So if we go to our classes menu, we can now branch out into one of the 3 classes. We were the Drifter, which we have maxed out, so now we can choose between Striker, Commando, and Enforcer. Let's read about each one. So Striker uses a longsword and an assault rifle. Choose this route if you want to go in guns blazing. It mixes offensive and defensive arts and provides HP and melee attack bonuses. It's well balanced and suited for beginners. Okay, maybe that's the one we choose. I'm not a beginner to the Xenoblade franchise, but I'm certainly a beginner to Xenoblade Chronicles X. So, we'll see. Okay, next up is Commando. Choose this route if you want to rack up damage, focuses on skillful application of damage buffs, and provides bonuses to melee accuracy, ranged accuracy, and evasion. Then finally we have Enforcer. Choose this route if you want to provide support from afar, offers many ranged arts and bonuses to ranged attack and potential. It's tricky to master and suited for professionals. Okay, so we'll kind of take Enforcer out of the conversation, so now we're between Striker and Commando. Commando uses dual swords and dual guns, versus Striker uses longsword and assault rifle. It's got 2 skill slots versus Striker only has 1 skill slot. It'll give us 2 arts, backslash and early bird. Should we go Striker or should we go Commando? I'm leaning towards Commando because I really like just being a pure DPS in a game. And again, while I'm new to the X game, I have played all of the other Xenoblade games, which makes me think perhaps I would be like an intermediate player, if you will. I guess we'll give it a try. I suppose maybe you can change class later. Hopefully you can, in case I make a mistake here, but my gut is saying Commando, so let's change classes. Class is more advanced than the Drifter can learn skills, which provide various effects just by being equipped. Different classes have different skills they can learn. Attaining rank 10 in any of the final stage classes allows you to master that class's weapons. Mastering a class's weapons allows you to use those weapons and any associated arts, even when using a different class. Okay, cool. So our class has officially been changed to Commando, meaning if we go into arts, we've got a brand new set of arts. We've got backslash as our sword art and early bird as our gun art. Oh, so we've only got 2 arts now. Interesting. That changes things dramatically. Well, let's make sure those are leveled up. Backslash leveled up. Early bird leveled up. Speaking of, I should probably check these guys' abilities as well. Shadow Runner. That's a new ability for Elma. Sure, we can upgrade that. And then Trash Talk. That's what we want for Lynn. She inflicts taunt. We need her to be a tank, even though she's only 13 years old. She's going to tank for me. So we're going to give her that, and we'll also upgrade her other new ability, Thermal Payload. So I'm not sure if I can learn any skills right now. Let's take a look. Yeah, okay. So we need to upgrade our class rank in order to get abilities. That makes sense. So we'll come back to that later. But there you have it. I officially have a new class, which is kind of fun. All kinds of new stuff today. We joined a new Blade division. We got a new class. I love it. All right, and now we can keep moving past the big monster up to our objective over there. Alright, we got past the big monkey monster, and now up this way, there's lots of other giant monsters. Those are the giant dinosaur-like things we saw in the opening cutscene. And we're not close enough to see their level yet, but presumably they're not something we want to mess with. Before we go, however, it looks like there's something interesting in the lake here. So let's take a look. Welcome to Jan Path Lake, and we've got some white whale debris. Oh, awesome. Let's investigate this. Field action succeeded. We got 2,000 credits. And what is that? Humanoid criticals up 3? I don't even know what that is. Hang on. Is that a new piece of gear, perhaps? I mean, I'm not sure what slot it would go in. I do actually have some new stuff to equip. We've got advanced survival souls, spelled in a very weird way. The defense physical resistance is lower, but the beam resistance is way higher, and it has max TP up 2. Put those on. Yeah, we should take a look through. I've already got my advanced survival sleeve on. Advanced survival quantlet. There's some really interesting terms to describe the equipment here. Alright, I think everything else is good. I have no idea what that is we just picked up. But I suppose we'll find out at some point. At some point they'll hit me with a tooltip and tell me what it is and what I need to do, right? Alright, so we investigated that, which is fantastic. Now, to get out of this river, it looks like we're gonna have to go this way, or lake, whatever you'd like to call this body of water. The issue is, as you can see, there are very high-level monsters roaming about. Now, I don't think they're gonna attack us on sight, fortunately for us, so we should be able to get out of here and get back on our path, I hope. Oh, these things are really cute looking. Hang on, look at these. They're like giant fennec foxes, and they disappeared as I got close. Oh no, they're back. Giant fennec foxes. Those are the cutest monsters I've ever seen. Oh, I'm so glad they're not attacking me, and I'm not attacking them, and we can live in peaceful harmony. Now, wait a minute. What is this up here? Is that a giant purple poop? It is! It's indigen dung! And we are literally gonna search through it. Wow, the things we do for treasure. I have to assume the poop came from that giant dino. But there you have it. You can't say I'm not dedicated to the job. I just literally looked through a giant pile of poop for treasure. Loot Goblin strikes again. Alright, up ahead looks like we've got some sort of outpost or base camp, so that's good. South Janpath Plain. Whoa! There's a lot of these big chickens running around, but luckily they're not aggressive. Alright, let's go check in at this base camp. Highlight of my day, digging through giant purple poop. The things we do as an adventurer, am I right? South Janpath, BC. Nelson's team set off to climb the mountain that's just ahead, but I have no idea what happened to them after that. Hey, Nelson! That's who we're here to find! Okay, excellent. That means we're on the right path. We've got to continue heading this way. Alright, you can see on our mini-map we're entering a yellow area. So we'll have to explore around here, and then hopefully we can find Nelson and crew, too. Right here we've got a honey papil, because this planet has so many giant bugs.
Move in and do some damage. Early bird. Slide. That's a dent in him. Move in and keep the rhythm going. I've been saving this one.
What? And it's down. Weaken them and lay it.
I'd like to get our crew to level 10 if we can, because it seems like most of the monsters around here are level 10, so as you can see, the girl squad right now is all level 9, so we're pretty close. And luckily, because we've got the numbers advantage, these level 10 monsters aren't necessarily too difficult. But as we head up the mountain here to look for Nelson and crew, we'll certainly do whatever battles come our way. It looks like we're starting to head up the mountain that they were heading. We're getting pretty close to that objective now. Welcome to Sea Swept Ridge. And right away we are ambushed by a sentient plant. I mean, hey, I'll take giant plants over giant bugs. Plant Mortiful came out of basically nowhere.
strike!
Close in
I owe
and seal
you
the
one.
deal! Scream
And down goes the evil plant. Lynn got a class rank up, which is always good. We'll grab our loot. We picked up something called a fluffy tuft from defeating that plant, and it looks like we're not going to get any further before we get ambushed by even more plants. Alright, maybe this is what happened to Nelson and co. They were just ambushed by all of the plants. Because that's certainly what's happening to us here so far.
Appreciated.
Early bird! My aura's prime!
Move in and do some damage.
Take this! Shadow strike! They never stood a chance. Hope I didn't get in the way.
Okay, I think all the plants are defeated. Now, Nelson, where are you? We're getting pretty close to that marker. It is, however, getting pretty late. Darkness is upon us, making this path a little bit more treacherous. There's some sort of giant flying monster right there. Eutropio, the Sea Rumble. A level 45 unique monster, which is honestly pretty beautiful with its glowing wings. We're gonna leave that guy alone. And then, wait a minute, what have we here? A discarded mech.
Damn. I knew we would have heard from them by now.
It was definitely fighting something. But this damage, it's not the usual claw or bite marks.
No signs of the team. If they were eaten, we'd know it. So did they walk away, or were they taken?
Okay, we've got two options to suggest searching the area or suggest heading back to New LA. We can't retreat at this point. We've got to at least search the area and see if we can get more clues as to what happened to poor Nelson and co.
Right. Either way, they couldn't have gotten very far. Let's keep looking.
Hold up, Elma. Check this out. I'm picking up an Earth-based IFF signal coming from that direction. It's Pathfinder.
That thing over there, maybe?
It doesn't look natural, does it?
No, it doesn't. It looks like trouble.
And look at this. I'm picking up readings for other life forms, too. Multiple signals, moving around inside the structure. Elma, you don't think...
It's gotta be Nelson and the crew. Intelligent life forms.
I think you're right. Look at their movements. They're controlled, orderly. They're definitely not wild animals. Now the question is, are they native to Mira? Or are they visitors like us? And if so, from where?
Oh, I went intelligent
one of the
life to
forces that
Nelson,
destroyed
but
Earth?
apparently Elman went intelligent life to
Let's
aliens.
not jump to any conclusions.
Huh.
It's a big universe out there. Of course, we shouldn't rule it out either.
Should we call this into HQ?
Yes, but not from here. If we're picking up their signals, they might be close enough to intercept ours.
You there! Drop your weapons!
Uh-oh. Maybe it's
Stay
intelligent
calm. We
life
don't wanna
after all.
provoke them.
Earth aliens! Surrender! Now!
It is
Know
aliens!
about Earth? You may have been right after all, Lynn.
What do we do here? Prepare to attack? I mean, we have to at least try to negotiate, right? It seems like they can speak English. Let's see if we can negotiate.
What are you doing?
It's okay, Lynn. Just stand down. I'm not sure why, but somehow they're able to communicate with us.
Meaning...
Meaning we need to know if diplomacy is a viable option.
Roger that.
We come in peace, and we're willing to negotiate. If you have any Earth alien prisoners, we'd ask the conditions for their release. If you don't, we'll leave you in peace.
No negotiations. No conditions. We have our orders.
All Earth aliens must die.
Well, so much for diplomacy. It was worth a shot, right? But, it's clearly not a viable option. Those are some interesting orders. All Earth aliens must die? Alright guys, it's time for a battle with aliens. Elma's got some advice for us first though. Before you start getting into scraps with Xenos, let me tell you about a new combat technique called Quick Cooldown. It sends a jolt of auxiliary energy to your weapon, instantly recharging an art on cooldown and letting you use it again straight away. You can use Quick Cooldown by pressing Y while selecting an art that's on cooldown.
They've seen us.
Luckily, it looks like these aliens are not too powerful. They're only level 7, so all the extra leveling I did, I guess, is coming in handy here now. So we're level 9. So we've not only got the numbers advantage, we've also got the level advantage, and I love having dual advantages. Very, very interesting that we've encountered aliens here. I mean, it makes sense. We know aliens existed. That's literally how Earth was destroyed and how our ship came crashing down here in the first place. That was all due to aliens. But I don't know, for some reason, I didn't think we'd encounter them, at least not this early in the game. I'm not sure why they hate us so much and apparently want to kill us all, but I suppose that plays nicely into the evil alien trope. I suppose the question is, did Nelson and co. get kidnapped by these aliens? Although, by the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like they were ordered to take prisoners, so I don't know.
So much for the diplomatic approach. What's the deal with wanting us all dead anyway?
Yeah, I wonder. They did mention they were following orders. Maybe someone higher up their chain of command would be willing to negotiate.
Okay, we got some more advice from Elma. You can store more of the auxiliary energy that's needed to use Quick Cooldown by obtaining additional energy clips. You'll get these as rewards for raising the Survey of Mira, so that's another reason to keep at it. Alright, I guess at this point we need to go to that structure up ahead, which is without a doubt some sort of alien base. Makes me wonder, is this their home planet, or have they sort of crash-landed here just like us? Whatever the answer is, we've got some Skell wreckage here that we can investigate. We've got patrol chopper wreckage here. Okay, interesting. It looks like these aliens have taken down a number of human scouts that have gotten too close to their base. Luckily for us, we got lots of treasure and experience points, and now we can head into the base under the light of the full moon. Wow, look at that. How many times can I ooh and ah over these moons, I wonder? I don't think the limit exists. This is too beautiful. Welcome to the sea-swept base.
Lynn, can you give us an approximate location for that IFF signal?
Let's see. Seems to be originating from that building over there.
Then we'd better get moving. There's no time to lose.
Yeah, if Nelson and his group are alive, presumably they'll be in that base, and hopefully not all aliens kill on sight, but I suppose we'll find out soon enough. The base is awfully quiet. I haven't seen any aliens on guard. Oh, speak of the devil, they're over there. I'm just doing a good job of avoiding them, it seems. There are aliens on guard, but they do not see me, so they're either really bad at their jobs or I'm much stealthier than I ever imagined I would be. They're not that high level. All of them appear to be around the level 7 zone. But if they're not going to bother me, I'm not going to bother them. We'll keep moving up this hill. Alright, getting closer and closer to the base. You'd have to think we're going to encounter some resistance soon, right? The closer we get to their actual base. Oh! What the heck is that? Level 45 bots. We certainly don't want to fight them. And a level 45 guard on that bridge. Let's see. How are we gonna get across here? Maybe I wasn't supposed to go this way? This felt like the right way. But if the right way involves a level 45 guard, then I have to think perhaps it is not the right way. Okay, maybe we can go a different way. I don't want to make anyone who's level 45 mad. Let's try... base is right up here. Let's see if there's any other way we can get up there. Aha, so when we came up to the end of this path, I went right, and that was the area with all the high-level enemies. But if we come left, everything is a much more reasonable level. Interesting that one of their entrances has way more guards than the other. But alright, these guys are only level 8. This is a prone major who I feel much better taking on. So let's do this. There we go. Much better than trying to fight those level 40 plus enemies. The level 8 major is down, and we get closer to this building up here. The alien architecture is certainly quite interesting. It looks very different than what we're used to seeing out of human architecture, so certainly sets itself apart. And then up here we have Pawn Pubes, which are the robots that we saw earlier. So after that last battle, I got a new ability, Upper Hand, which grants critical power. Seems like a pretty good thing to be using here. This one here's almost down. Nice. One more. You're good, Lynn. Don't worry. We're gonna take this guy before you get down. There we go. Level up for Lynn. See, I told you all would be okay, Lynn. Let's grab our loot. Now we should be able to head right inside. I don't see any other guards. There's some over there, but no one that's going to stop us from infiltrating the alien base. And here's some aliens. Uh-oh. I don't think they held Nelson and co prisoner after all. They were following the same orders. All humans must die.
They're all dead. You killed them all. In cold blood.
Fortune did not smile upon them today.
Nelson.
You filthy Earth aliens do not belong on this planet.
You seem more fluent than the others. Are you in charge?
I am called Glennar. I command this squad, Earth alien. Now it is time for you to surrender.
Hello, Glennar. I am called Elma, and I command this squad. If this planet is your home, we apologize for intruding. We crash-landed here after our ship was damaged in an attack by unknown adversaries. We were hoping we could negotiate a peaceful settlement in exchange for our friends, but...
Peaceful settlement? Your words are wasted on us. All we can promise Earth aliens is a swift death.
Elma.
Right. We tried. Looks like survival of the fittest it is. Fine then. Seeing as you know we come from Earth, I'm guessing there's a good chance we might have a score to settle with you anyway.
Alright, let's do it. First we're going to learn about tension points. Tension points are mostly accrued by using auto attacks and can be expended to perform certain special actions. Tension arts, these arts have powerful effects and they cost 1000 TP to use. Revive, you can approach an incapacitated ally and press A to revive them. This costs 3000 TP to perform. When reviving an ally, a green circle will appear. If you press B at the right time, you'll boost the healing provided to the ally being revived. Alright, allies raising allies. If one of your allies has 3000 TP stored up, they can expend it to help up an allied character who's been incapacitated in battle. Under certain circumstances, an orange circle may appear in the center of the screen while you're engaging in battle. This is called a soul challenge. Press B with the correct timing to succeed in the challenge and issue a soul voice from the controlled character, restoring some of the party's HP, gaining a level of morale, and more. If you press B at the exact right moment, you'll see a perfect notification pop up, which will additionally restore some TP. Holy moly, there's so much to learn here. It's crazy how we're almost 5 hours into the game and we're still learning about some of the mechanics. There's just so much to learn. Alright, next up's morale level. The party's morale is measured by a gauge, which rises one level each time you succeed in a soul challenge. At higher morale levels, soul voices are more frequent and the TP bonus you get for perfect soul challenges increases. On the other hand, be aware that as your morale level increases, the soul challenges will also get more difficult to hit perfectly. Okay, guess that's all we need to know. Now it's time for some revenge. Turns out the aliens murdered Nelson and co. in cold blood, and we obviously can't just let that stand. We need to avenge them. I never met Nelson, but I'm sure they didn't deserve a death at the hands of aliens. So, let's make it up to them, shall we? Luckily for us, these aliens are not very powerful. And therefore, hopefully, we can take them out without too much issue. I guess this species of aliens is named Prone? Prone alien? I don't know. But all the enemies that we fought have been named Prone, which makes me think that has something to do with their species name. I love how they're calling us aliens, right? It's an interesting scenario we find ourselves in. Alright, all that's left is the leader, Glennar. Down he goes. Bye-bye, aliens. That one was for you, Nelson. Oh, man.
I don't get it. Why would they be so bent on killing all humans?
Who can say? Whatever the reason, this is dire news. We should let the others know ASAP. Let's call it in and head back to HQ for a full debrief.
Roger that. And here I just started to hope we'd finally escaped all this.
Escape! Yes, escape! Tatsu also want escape!
Huh?
Friends! Friends that leave Tatsu trapped!
The aliens do take hostages?
More Xenos? What should we do?
Stay back, Lynn. What do you think, Rook?
I mean, it doesn't sound like an alien. Let's open the crate. It sounds like it needs help. Be bold, folks. What the heck? A Nopon? And a bunch of giant potatoes that kind of look like Nopon?
Finally! Dance of freedom! Tatsu thanks you!
Interesting. One of the vegetables is sentient.
Talking potato. I wonder if it tastes different too. I know what we're having for dinner tonight. You don't know it yet, new girl, but I'm a pretty mean cook.
You are mean! Mean and cruel! Tatsu definitely not potato! Tatsu explained this to dumb and smelly Prone when they take Tatsu, but Prone not listen. Prone never listen. On Nopon rude day, Prone first set sticky feet on Mira. Especially Tatsu. Tatsu witnessed Prone abuse firsthand. At this rate, entire Nopon race in danger. Yes, Nopon are endangered species. So really, friends have social responsibility to protect Tatsu from danger.
Uh-huh. What do you think, Elma? Bake or fry?
Wait a minute. The beings who captured you, big brutes in armor, little pointy ears?
Yes, Prone!
And they're a more recent arrival here, is that right? They're not native to this planet?
Not native, recent. If friends want more details, friends must promise to protect Tatsu. Only then will Tatsu talk.
Right. Elma, you hold him. I'll peel.
Tatsu will talk! Tatsu will talk! Friends not get Nopon sense of humor is all.
So if I understand correctly, this is your homeworld. The Nopon people are native to Mira. And then just recently, the Prone show up and quickly hunt you to the edge of extinction. Is that right?
Not just Prone. Prone and their nasty, evil buddies. Lots and lots of them.
They're buddies? You mean other alien races?
Other hungry alien races. They all gang up on Nopon. They do horrible, terrible things to Nopon. Someday, Tatsu will turn tables and eat them for a change.
Okay, this is awesome. If you've played any Xenoblade Chronicles games before, then you'll recognize the Nopon. They're a race that has appeared in every game so far, and they're usually the comedic relief, if you will. They're cute, silly little guys, and I absolutely love them. And the fact that this one is being mistaken for a sentient potato is just very funny. This is exactly the levity we needed after finding Nelson and his crew dead at the hands of aliens. Now we found a talking potato, and Lynn is trying to figure out which way best to prepare and cook him. Look, we've got to continue to tease him, right? Let's stare hungrily at Tatsu.
Tatsu has seen those eyes before. Hungry eyes, like Prone eyes. Tatsu is here to serve, not be served.
Yeah, seriously. What kind of barbarian would want to eat this little guy just like that?
What the
We should
hell,
take care
Lynn?
of him.
You were
Wash
talking
and
about
clean him.
preparation methods just minutes ago.
That's right, that's right. This is exactly what Tatsu is saying. Take Tatsu to your village. Wash and clean Tatsu. Season Tatsu.
Huh?
Wait.
What do you think? Take him with us?
He seems harmless enough. And he'd be a good source of information on Mira and the Prone. All right. We can debrief him when we report to Commander Vandham. As long as he passes the quarantine scan, we can bring him back to New LA.
Yay!
Right. Let's get that out of the way. All clear.
Then Tatsu can join friends? Dance of joy. New friends are friendliest friends ever. I know. Tatsu has special thank you gift for friends for saving Tatsu's life. Tatsu will lend it to friends for free.
Lend? It's not a gift if you don't give it.
Give it away? For always? For free? This would be insulting to friends and to Tatsu. No Nopon merchant worth his salt and pepper could do such a thing. Tatsu is grateful, but Tatsu not insane.
What? It's insane to think if someone saves your life, you might actually show them some real... And he's not even listening.
Friend, do you ever get lost? Tired of bulky maps and flawed memory?
I love that Tatsu is apparently native to the land here of Mira, which means hopefully we'll find even more Nopon friends on our journey. Interesting to know that the Prone are not native, so it sounds like they maybe arrived just around the same time we did. Are they hunting us? Did they follow us here? Hopefully Tatsu will get us lots of information. But first, let's see what he has for us. I mean, yeah, if you've got a better way to navigate, I'm all in. This is a big world we've got here.
There is a better way. Friends, this is your lucky day. Presenting Follow Ball.
Wow, that presentation was very Legend of Zelda coded.
Follow Follow Ball is #1 ultimate best super secret must-have Nopon item. If friends get lost out in wild, friends just follow Ball of Light to safety. And now it's yours, for free, to borrow! For now, anyway.
Really? Follow Ball? That's the best name you could come up with for your super special thing?
Meh, meh, meh. What would friend prefer? Fancy name no one understands so friend can feel smart? Now, time for Nopon Dance of Generosity.
I don't know. Is that thing really gonna be all that useful? What if it's a trap, or boom, it just blows up in our faces?
Ah yes, that reminds Tatsu. If Follow Ball get damaged, Tatsu need to charge friends full price, plus restock fee.
So much for Dance of Generosity.
Not the restocking fee. Oh man. Well, looks like the Nopons in this universe are merchants, just like they are in most universes. So we'll take what we can get. Presenting Follow Ball. Before using the Follow Ball, select mission friend want guidance for. Follow Ball is super convenient Nopon treasure, but also total junk if no mission is selected. Oh, and Follow Ball sometimes get lost, so try to go easy on Follow Ball. It's pretty smart for the most part. Cool, so that'll help us get to areas that were maybe a little bit more hidden or were lost trying to figure out. Now, before we go back to the barracks, I did want to take some time to explore this prone base. It's a shame we came all this way to leave it unexplored. Who knows what treasure they might have, like here. Oh, unfortunately we can't recover this treasure as we must learn the archaeological field skill to recover it. I don't even know what that means, but we'll keep in mind that it's there. If there was treasure up top, is there any treasure down below? Doesn't look like it. Oh man. No treasure for us. So rude. Alright. Well, I guess we're all done here. We discovered the fate of Nelson and Co. We got rid of some prone enemies, and we made a new friend. Let's investigate this skell wreckage before we go. Nice. And then it's probably a good time for us to try out fast travel. We haven't really used it yet, but we should be able to fast travel, hopefully, to the base. Let's see. Commercial District, Central Industrial District, Administrative District, here we go. Blade Barracks. Let's fast travel back there, because we've certainly walked enough for one day, and report in to the commander about what we found. I'm sure they're going to be very interested to hear that there's prone aliens on this planet who are bent on eliminating all of humanity. The one thing we were running from may have caught up to us, but hopefully we have some new allies on this planet in the Nopon.
Damn. Losing Nelson's team is a real blow. But the fact we're not the only visitors on this rock is even worse.
They made it clear they want all humans dead. For all we know, they may be related to the forces that destroyed Earth and followed us here.
Wonderful. I'll report this to Secretary Nagi. See if we can't bolster our defenses. Just one last thing. What the bloody hell is this dancing turnip doing here?
He's actually a potato.
Tatsu not turnip or potato. For last time, Tatsu is not food. Now, on behalf of Planet Mira, Tatsu welcome all Earth people and offer a friendly treaty of friendship.
Yeah, right. Anyway, we were thinking he could be a good source of general intel about the planet. Exactly how useful that'll be remains to be seen.
Oh, don't you worry about a thing. Friend's totally safe now that Tatsu is in town. Tatsu watch over and protect friends, especially weak, pathetic Lindley with her thin, bony wings.
You mean my arms? Look who's talking. And who said anything about you coming with us? You can stay here, you greedy, annoying little cabbage. I'm sure there's a salad here that could use you.
So wait, first he was a turnip, then he was a potato, now he's a cabbage?
Friends would leave Tatsu behind?
Get your vegetables straight.
It's for the best. You said yourself your people are endangered, and the Xenos that captured you might still be out there. You'll be safest here in the city.
Agreed.
Tatsu not agreed. Friends will want Tatsu along. Friends need Tatsu along.
How so?
What? Well, that, of course. This planet have many helpful Nopon that Tatsu can talk to. Other Nopon can share information for friends.
That might be useful.
That right. Most Nopon not like Tatsu. Nopon can be shy. Nopon can be difficult. Most Nopon never trust friends or even talk to friends. But Tatsu? Nopon love Tatsu. Tatsu use smooth talk and winning personality to get friends good info.
The tater tot has a point.
More like an ulterior motive, if you ask me.
Tater tot!
Tatsu perish the thought. Tatsu intentions are pure, Linley. Pure as snow. Linley intimidated by Tatsu's strength and smarts, but do not worry, Tatsu is true friend.
Strength and smarts, huh? That's really not what I'm worried about here.
All right, then it's settled. Small Fry here will accompany you three out in the field. After all, we can use all the info we can get.
Seriously? We have to babysit this thing?
You're the ones who picked him up. Besides, would you really want to leave him with another team?
Maybe not. Unless we were invited to the meal, I mean.
See? Already getting along like peas and carrots. He can be your charge, Lynn.
Oh, come on, Commander! That's not funny! I've got my hands full out there! This is so unfair. Back me up here, would you, Elma?
I'm sure Elma has no objections.
Right. As you say, Commander.
Done and done. Welcome to Blade, Tater. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, sir! And it's Tatsu. Oh, one thing Tatsu forgot to mention. Nopon are pacifists, so friends need to defend Tatsu, keep extra super safe in any battle. Tatsu VIP diplomat, after all.
And why am I not surprised? So much for him watching over and protecting us.
Well, welcome to the team, Tater. I mean, Tatsu. We'll do our best to protect you. And that's Chapter 3's story mission complete. Nelson's team was completely obliterated by hostile Xenos, but you did at least make contact with one friendly Xenoform, a Nopon named Tatsu.
So, Rook, feel like you're starting to get the hang of things?
Yeah, I think so. I feel confident.
Of course you are. You've taken to it like a fish to water, just like Elma and the Commander said you would.
Just the same, let's review the key points, and I can fill in some extra details. Blade's top priority right now is to secure missing pieces of the Lifehold. You remember that much. Countless people are frozen in the Lifehold. It's the key to restoring humanity. Up until we ran into the Prone, our biggest concern was that wild indigents would stumble on the Lifehold and damage it somehow. But now there's a more pressing threat, intelligent alien races who are intentionally trying to destroy us. So, our search has new urgency. We need to find and retrieve all of the Lifehold ASAP.
And the best way to do that is by expanding the reach of Frontier Nav. The more probes we can install, the wider we can scan, and the faster we can find bits of the Lifehold.
So our primary focus going forward should be to travel around Mira installing data probes. As many as we can, as fast as we can. I can't stress enough how important this is. You still with me?
Yeah, I got you, Elma.
Good. Then let's move on to the other pressing threat that Blade has to deal with. Hostile indigens. There's no real delicate way to put this. Any wildlife that poses a clear threat must be eliminated. The Lifehold is our future, but we can't ignore the present. We still have our duty to keep New LA safe. And sometimes that duty requires enacting coordinated strikes to solve problems before they can do real harm.
We're the newcomers here, it's true. And they're usually just out to defend their territory. But sometimes it really is them or us. And we have to make sure it's us. Don't get me wrong. It's not like we run out there and light up anything that moves. Only Blade HQ can choose targets, and they tend to keep them strictly to creatures that pose a significant threat to our survival.
In order to contribute to this cause, operatives are asked to form into squads to take on special missions. These squad missions, as we call them, don't get posted to mission control like your other, more typical assignments. Rather, HQ transmits the details directly to all of us at the same time. Basically, they want as many people to know about them ASAP, so they can be taken care of ASAP.
I'm sure you can imagine, but these missions aren't your run-of-the-mill little fetch quests. It's not the kind of stuff just one or two Blades could handle on their own. That's why squads can have as many as 32 members.
And it's why we ask members to sign up to a squad beforehand. We can't have Blades playing musical chairs whenever this kind of emergency hits us. But just remember, squad missions are not mandatory. You don't have to drop everything you're doing just to take one on. HQ has no way of knowing what every Blade is up to when these missions arise. If you're busy with something else, they'll understand. They need to trust our collective judgment with these things, and, well, so far so good.
And I think that about covers the basics, right?
Search for the missing pieces of the Lifehold. Install data probes to expand Frontier Nav. And take on squad missions when you can to keep us safe. Got all that?
Got it.
Good. We're counting on you.
And briefing adjourned. Thank God.
That was a long one. I'm also not sure why that dramatic, almost romantic music kicked in there at the end, but anywho, setting the mood, I guess.
All right, well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it?
Yeah, let's call it a night.
Oh, Tatsu's so excited to sleep in real bed. Lily can show Tatsu to his room now.
Oh, your room is right over there.
Is that the refrigerator?
Oh, it looked perfect size for Tatsu. Wait, what? Tatsu know what that is. That refrigerator. We'll go in there to cool off.
I guess you are smarter than you look.
Well, Tatsu not want to brag, but... wait a minute! Tatsu see what Lily did there?
Guess this whole Tatsu's a potato thing is gonna be a running joke, and honestly, I don't hate it. I think it's hilarious. If I'm being completely honest with myself. Welcome to the crew, Tatsu. You won't be much help in battle, apparently, but I'm sure you'll be of help in making us chuckle and smile. Alright, at last your Blade adventure begins. Main story missions can be undertaken via the Blade Barracks, but remember that they come with specific requirements like level and survey rate. Good luck, we're counting on you to find pieces of the Lifehold. Once you hit class rank 10, you might want to think about changing classes. Already done it, Vandham. Already done it. You're a Blade now. That implies great responsibility, but also great freedom. And though some assignments require specific party members, who you take with you into battle is generally up to you. The survey rate will indicate progress you've made in exploring each region. You can check it out in the main map under segments. To raise the survey rate, install data probes and conduct segment recon. Raising the survey rates to certain milestones will grant you neat rewards. Affinity expresses your closeness with your allies, spanning 5 different levels. As the affinity level increases, you may unlock special affinity missions and heart-to-hearts. Affinity will grow gradually as you make dialogue choices your allies agree with, complete missions, respond to soul voice prompts, and more. The title supports both online and offline play. To play in online mode, you'll have to join a squad, which requires an active membership to online services. Alright, we will play in online mode, but we can hide that when we load in every time. That'll connect us to the internet. I guess we're gonna have to join a squad from here. That lets up to 32 blades link up and work in tandem, which should be pretty cool. And then we'll get squad tasks, which are small randomized objectives available when you're part of a squad, and they refresh every hour. So much to learn, so little time. We can also get online missions, which trigger randomly every hour while we're part of a squad. And by doing all this, we'll get material tickets, which can be exchanged for various enemy materials. Alright, so this must be the online screen. It looks like there's like multiple events. You can see 2 days until Yggdrasilith 0 spawns. You can do quick assignments, you can create a squad, you can play with friends, play in a private squad. All pretty good. We'll just connect to a quick assignment for now, just to test things out. And now, new characters can join our party. Elma can join us, as well as Lynn, as well as Arena. Oh, cool. We get to learn more about Arena. Gutsy but cool-headed, Arena devotes her entire being to protecting the people of New LA. Back in her Skeleton Crew days, Arena served under Elma, a leader for whom she still maintains strong adoration. It seems like we're gonna want Arena in our party because she looks like she's the healer. It says on her battle style, Arena aids allies by using recovery techniques with areas of effect. It would be fantastic if we get her to go with Lynn as a tank, me and Elma as DPSs. That's a beautiful squad right there. We can also recruit Gwyn, who has a really big sword and uses a samurai gunner style to fearlessly charge into the fray. Cool. We can also recruit Doug. Oh my goodness, so many new party members. No predicament is too daunting for Doug, who uses a unique style based on the Blast Fencer class to do battle on the front lines. Alright, so at any time, I guess we can set up our party. I think I'm gonna go Elma, Lynn, and Arena, and really make sure we've got the girl squad all put together. We will save our progress now, as that is officially the end of Chapter 3. It took quite a while. That was a beefy tutorial. You can see it's taken me about 5.5 hours to get through the first 3 chapters. But by the looks of things and the tooltips that popped up there at the end, the tutorial is officially over. The game is going to open up now exponentially, meaning we can explore, do side quests, and all that good stuff. I'm really excited to hop into the game proper now that we've completed the tutorial section. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the first 3 chapters of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, and I hope I'll see you guys back here soon as we continue our journey through this game.